Meanwhile, in space.
Great glamour shot there.
It really, really was.
Yeah. Ordering hot chocolate in your court. Oh, wait, no, we're like in engineering. What the heck? Why is there even a replicator in engineering?
Well, it's kind of like, so you know how they have synthahol and it doesn't inebriate you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is, synth cocoa, and it doesn't do anything to machines if you spill it on it. Yeah.
So you can just spill hot chocolate all over the warp core. It's fine.
And it'll be fine. Yep, it just goes... Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Oh, I've been talking too much, though.
Clearly was meant to be played by Lori Petty, but they just couldn't get her.
No, they got Lycia Naff instead. I think that's how you say her name.
I don't know how you say any of these people's names. I don't remember any of these actors.
That's what I do, though. Well, but you should remember her because, she was supposed to be on the show as a love interest for Geordi.
Oh.
For like multiple episodes. But she lasted 2 episodes and they didn't like her.
Well, I mean, Geordi clearly does not have a thing for her.
I think they decided that a whole, oh my god. My captain.
Oh, stop touching.
Please don't.
Yeah, let's... Yeah. This is Ensign Rowe's job. I like how there's randomly times when Picard is like really mad about something simple, and other times something happens to him and he doesn't care.
Well, he's all especially early Picard, he's all
Grumps
proper
McGirt.
And about, huh?
Grumps McGirt.
Yeah, he's all like the crew can't see me be anything other than the captain.
The captain.
Especially the first thing he says to Riker is, "Don't let me make an ass of myself around children." But of course, it's not just children he has to worry about. It's these youthful ensigns and their hot chocolate in engineering, too.
I feel like that was a PSA film you had to watch at the Academy. Like, ensigns and their hot chocolate and the dangers. It's like the, it's like the don't trust Nazi women PSAs from Private Snafu.
Uh-oh. Oh, what? Oh, yay!
Woo! Q episode, everybody. In case anyone missed it, Steven, what episode are we watching for everybody?
Well, this would be Q Who. And this would be the 3rd appearance of Q on Next Gen, chronologically, so to speak. And, the first 2 appearances were kind of lighthearted. Q's testing is he testing the crew? Is he just getting jollies off of this? What's going on here? And basically the worst thing that happened was he made them late for a rescue mission where a kid died. But
is
now
that all?
But now things get serious.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites.
Super ethereal.
This is one of my favorite Next Gen episodes in general, although this is probably my favorite Q episode. I might have said that before on our other Q episodes, but I really do mean it in this time. As you said, this is where we get the really kind of mean side of Q, exactly how dark he can get if he wants to.
Well, and it's also okay, 2 appearances of Q and the crew wins, right? They prove that Q is a mischief maker. He doesn't,
yeah,
he really should just leave them alone. And that's evidenced by the continuum kind of snatches him back at the end of Hyde and Q, right? In the first season where they're he's like, "No, please, I'll be good." And he just disappears. And here he shows up. He's about to say the continuum has kicked me out. So now I need something to do. I'm going to join your crew, Picard. Isn't that great? But he ends up, spoilers, Q is right at the end of this episode. They are not prepared for the Borg, the Federation.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, this episode's 30 years old.
Yeah. In case anyone doesn't know, I can't imagine you'd be watching this and not know. But the Q, this is the first, this is the first introduction of the Borg, who become, I would say, the Borg become like the best Starfleet kind of boogeyman out of the entirety of Next Gen.
Well, yeah, because they're impervious to everything that the Federation does well, like good technology and teamwork. And nothing works on them at first.
Yeah.
You can't talk to them, you can't negotiate, can't reason.
Well, and they don't care. They have no diplomacy. They have no really driving force except for the fact that we need to just assimilate and grow more. So they
really are a program.
They're just a virus basically. They're just slowly expanding to create more of themselves.
So Geordi, so this is setting up the original concept was she would be like the assistant chief engineer, and also a possible love interest for Geordi, and like that dorky chief engineer, assistant chief, Sonia Gomez again,
Yeah.
But the backstory of the actress is that they had her under contract for 2 episodes. This episode and the one after this, Samaritan Snare, where Geordi gets kidnapped by the Pac-Leds. The We Look for Things.
Oh, yeah.
And she helped rescue him. And then she's like, never seen again. And it's because they said, okay, you're not under contract anymore. You did your 2 episodes and we don't think we're going to have you back. So she cut her hair, as actors will do if they don't need to have that hairstyle anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, we want you back for this. Oh, you cut your hair. Oh, I guess you'll never work on Star Trek ever again.
No one in Starfleet cuts their hair. Well, and that's kind of the funny thing I would say about Star Trek Next Gen that kind of equates to like cartoons is, in cartoons, the characters always have the exact same clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the same thing with the exception of Guinan. She looks different every time, but most everyone is like this. Like Worf looks exactly the same haircut, same uniform. Riker, same haircut, same uniform. So yeah, it is funny that she lost the part over a haircut.
Yeah, like just put a wig on her, or give her write in something where she visited a planet and bought some fancy headdress thing or some kind of headband. Or, I don't know.
She got back from leave, or her kind of courting Geordi. She's like, I heard you like short hair,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't this ominous? It's red and blue in here.
Mm-hmm. So we talked over that a little bit, but Guinan has, we're getting a clue as to Guinan's extra sensory perception powers here.
Her extra perceptory powers.
I've had way too much bubbly. And I do mean the sugar-free sparkling water.
Oh. Buble.
Yes.
As they're really pushing that commercial. Oh, too close.
Yeah. I can smell your space aftershave.
Is that Klingon warrior?
You're staring out a window. That usually means something's wrong.
Is there another body in space? I had those same glasses when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
In our pantry. Yeah, they were a little more, the glass was a little bluish, but they looked exactly the same as that.
I'm pretty sure they just went to Cost Plus or whatever. Did we have IKEA in the 80s?
Yeah.
In the major cities?
Yeah, IKEA
I don't
was
remember
around.
it. Maybe not in the Bay Area. I don't remember it.
Well, that's weird. Wait, Captain's not on the ship? Party!
So right now they're thinking, wait, did the captain literally just sneak off the ship with a shuttlecraft? Like what? Q is not even in their minds at this point, right? Like it's not a possibility.
Which if this is the 3rd time, it should be like the captain's not on the ship. Q, come on. Do you think Q ever messed up anything minor? Just something like someone's birthday and he just made the cake flatten and he's like, and ran away. I'm sorry, that's just funny. Set sensors for maximum scan. Sounds like it would be at a Galaxy Quest. This is thrilling.
So one more thing I want to say about Sonia Gomez here, Ms. Lycia Naff, is you will also recognize her in a very major movie, in a motion picture, in a very memorable role as Mary, the three-breasted mutant prostitute in Total Recall.
Ah, that is her.
Who's, well, she's not free, but available. And she gets Michael Ironside, again, spoilers, totally just blows her away.
Yeah.
For her, just for mouthing off, too, which really she didn't deserve.
And she didn't even really mouth off. She came on to him.
And then turned her back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, no one does that to me. Also, my wife just died, so.
Yeah,
boom.
he's pretty upset.
Yeah.
Well, and the sad part about that too is you can't even be like, oh, you know, that lady was topless in Total Recall, huh? It's like, no, all three
No,
of the
those
mutant
were-
breasts
yeah.
were fake. They were all fake. Like paper mache fake.
So Q is in the cooler with Steve McQueen here, apparently. Oh. It must
Oh.
be after hours.
This is 10 backward, not 10 forward.
Ha ha. Ha ha. The hell?
love
They've
the-
been sitting there drinking this whole time?
I love the wood paneling.
Yeah.
Like, do they do real wood paneling in any other starships besides the Enterprise?
No, and that's the thing about another first season difference is you'll notice the captain's chair has those flip up panels that are also wood paneling that
Yeah.
they got rid of.
You.
Uh-oh.
Why? She's Guinan. She's like super nice. Oh, psychic battle, psychic battle.
No, 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 no.
Mem, 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 mem. Whoopi Goldberg, everybody.
Frank Stallone karate.
It's you. How many shots do you think they're like, oh, we don't want to add so much background? Patrick Stewart, can you just like lean a little bit? Just get more to her level. Witches leave.
Oh. Not really. It's actually
Yeah.
the flagship.
Yeah. If
We just
learn-
got through saying that Sonia Gomez is there because Geordi wanted her because she's super smart.
Yeah. Well, and we know from, Wesley Crusher that the Academy's not easy.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't met Barclay yet. I think Barclay would fit that description, but he's also actually super smart. He's
Yeah,
just really awkward.
Yeah, he clearly has some sort of minor autism that I think is really unfair of Starfleet not to assist him with. You know, we're in the future. We're supposed to help everybody. You know, because he is a being of pure energy, if you get your cell phone close to him, it'll just start charging.
All of a sudden you hear Jarvis like, suit at 400% power, sir. Why did they send Worf out? Like, he doesn't get to be in the big boy conversation?
No, because he's too aggressive. You know, he doesn't realize it, but there are times he's like, oh, don't get Worf here. He might Worf it up.
Well, he's just going to recommend firing phasers at something.
You'll stare at him something and go, "Rawr." And that's why you're wearing the captain's badging. But still captain. I need to serve something. So upset. know what's really sad is Q kind of has a point. Like, he didn't really ever hurt anybody. He's kind of adding life to the party, I guess. So did they ever later establish how long it would have taken the Borg to find the Federation space if Q hadn't brought them out here?
They already set up the Borg in the first season episode, The Neutral Zone, where they're like, hey, our Federation colonies along the neutral zone have been destroyed. We think it's the Romulans, but then the Romulans show up and say, our colonies have also been destroyed in the same way, where they look like they've just been, they're just craters now. And then you see, I don't even know if they had the Borg concept then, but they just knew they were setting something up for writers to pick up and run with later.
Something they can give to them and be like, hey, this is going to be like a big enemy we can write in. Yeah. That's a little Borg, disappointing.
Like, when you see this episode without knowing about Best of Both Worlds and all that, and you think, okay, the Borg were just this one-off villain. And I remember just thinking, like, after watching this as a kid, thinking, like, successive episodes, like, man, the Borg are still out there. Like,
yeah,
that's still a thing. That wasn't an illusion. That was just Q sent them farther than they had ever gotten yet. And here we go.
Whee!
Wesley, what did you do?
They've gone to Plaid. Sir, we've gone 0.3 light years. I'll stop. Which isn't a great starbase. I mean, their Denny's is eh.
Well, it's west of the Rockies, so they don't have like Whataburger and.
Is that starbase kind of like falling apart because it's on what they call a county island and no city wants to take care of it? Like our road?
No, it got bypassed by the interstate, so it's off the beaten path, like the Bates Motel. Anyway, I think you'd rather be in J25 right now, like, except for Starbase 185 or 35 or whatever it is.
Well, Guinan, he's gone. Might as well serve us something. I'll take a whiskey on the rocks. Despite our omniscient person telling us this is a bad place to be, I really want to go explore. Mega Maid.
You don't want it to go from suck to blow.
And the coolest ships in my opinion, in all of Star Trek, the coolest enemy ships are the Borg. Just big old lumpy cubes. I love them.
Because what do they care about how their ships look?
Exactly. They're built for efficiency.
They work.
Yeah. It kind of fits in a lot with like bees. I think they did a good job with that, with the Borg. Because, the bees build a very geometric shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, oddly enough, I do detect 9 ping pong tables.
15 beers on tap.
Sir, they have a working Chuck E. Cheese.
But see, now here's where Troy should actually be useful and say, it's not that I sense 1,000 people. I sense like there's one consciousness. And here's where Guinan should be freaking the F out because she sees the Borg. Like, this is the last thing she wanted.
Well, she's not worried. She'll just turn into an ethereal being and fly away. Is this like the courtesy office?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think you see Guinan's quarters until the movie Generations, where it's set up like she's a mystic, like a she
Yeah.
looks like it's like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the guy who translates the medallion, like that guy's house. That's what her quarters looks like.
Whoop. And there we go. Okay,
Yep.
took a bit.
Wreck.
Captain, there's a guy here. It's, it's
Even just
funny.
that sound it emanates, it's
Yeah.
just great. It's just like
Yes.
it's like mechanical and biological all at the same time, kind of like the Borg.
Well, and again, kind of like a beehive. You get near a beehive, and there's like a pulsing, like a whoom, whoom coming from the inside.
I will take your word for it. I don't go near beehives at all. Don't
Ah.
care. Leave the bees. You go pollinators. I will leave you to it.
Well, with my obsession with mead, I learned a little bit about bees too. He won't take any snacks. He won't take tea. I don't know what to give him.
I hope someone briefed Geordi that Q was in on this, because that's kind of Geordi should be really surprised here.
I'm gonna hug it. Coming in for a hug, bro. Hug. Can you just 5 inches?
That was
Q.
literally 5 feet away, though. Like, Q, you're abusing your teleportation.
Nice hand. He's like Hellboy.
And I think, don't they give Picard one of those in when he gets assimilated?
Yeah.
They give him a thing like that.
Yeah, it just covers his hand though. It doesn't. They didn't take his arm off. Man, that guy's gonna have like all sorts of internal bleeding. Do it again.
And I love it. He gives a little look like, ha ha.
Oh.
Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk.
Affirmative, Captain. Punching
Right.
now.
I'm going to fire my weapon 10 feet from the warp core.
Sorry, sir. I figured out what was wrong. There was a little gunk on the lens of the phaser, so I just had to. You know what the Borg remind me of? Do you remember the movie Virus with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Nope.
It's really good. It's a random sci-fi horror movie that came in. I think it was like the 90s. And basically this signal from out of space, it's like a digital life form. It's like an energy life form. It gets into the ship, so it starts seeing the ship as its body, and it starts seeing the things on it as viruses. And it's taking people apart and combining them with machines. It's much more Cronenberg-ish than the Borg. But if you are a fan of the Borg, I do highly suggest checking out the movie Virus with Jamie Lee Curtis. It's very good. It has really, really good CG for when it came out, too. It's kind of awesome. Oh, Guinan's here.
Yeah. And after that, we're going to have a meeting.
Yeah, I was there. Well, first we put up a fence, and they said it was on their 6 inches of land, but we said it was on our land. And then we brought the county out, and the county agreed with them, but we opened up a case, and then went to civil court. This is the way.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, good job. Good job, Data. Worf was waiting, like he could hear him. He's like, I'm gonna wait for Guinan to finish. And okay.
Natural pause.
Captain Picard's like, whatever, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Okay, again, we're going to just sit, after that, we're just going to sit down and continue this meeting.
You all agree on what pizza to get. We're not sure what kind of tractor beam, but it appears to be a tractor beam of sorts. Guinan's just going to sit there and wait. No one said I could go. So I guess I'll sit here until they get back. Even into a star, sir? I don't want to be mean, but it does seem like you can't just say any heading, right? Like, you might want to be careful not to hit like an asteroid field or something.
If I'm a Starfleet navigator, I've got something programmed in the backup, like on the clipboard.
Yeah,
like cut and paste into the computer.
Shift Control 1.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Great effect. Pulling the core right out of the ship.
Yeah. Dumbest line ever. Like, this is gruesome. And Riker's like makes a food reference.
Yeah, there's probably
fuck you, right? Screw you, Riker.
There's probably like a couple hundred people in that little like core, right?
Yeah. Well, they say 22 or something like that.
Jeez.
And they don't know about assimilation yet, so I don't know.
Who was aiming that? When did they aim at the tractor beam first?
Probably Data or Worf. Okay, turn around and go.
Are gone. No, they're not destroyed. They're intact. They're just gone. Oh.
And also, like, they could be civilians, you know? Like,
yeah, there could have been just like a classroom or something in that section.
So, can we get the F out of here now? Is that like in the plan?
Let's go over there and punch them. Oh, geez, dude. No, not the time.
Yeah, time
not
for a
the
meeting.
Time. God. Captain Picard, this is not the time to talk about it.
That's Montgomery Scott's rule of engineering number 32.
Believe me, you really don't want to think about the people who die on this ship.
Okay, but I could really use some hot chocolate right now.
Georgie's like, always put me with an ensign I can't handle.
I really should have given you to the hood.
Guinan. Cool. I say, so they know where to get it and how much to take. And...
yeah. I never understood the meaning of the word user in his context. Like,
yeah.
Like Tron user, like you said, like a drug user. Like,
yeah.
What does that mean?
Because it would have been better if he said they're the most perfect symbiosis.
Yeah,
of organic and inorganic. Yeah. That would have made much more sense. Just, sweetie, hush, hush.
Also, he uses probably the more proper terminology, the Borg is instead of the Borg are.
Mm-hmm. Also, I took all the Phillips head screws out of the ship and replaced them with common.
Also, he took all of the light bulbs out of that side of the room.
No, sir, you may really want to see it.
Has anyone seen Dr. Pulaski lately, by the way? I didn't see Diana Muldaur in the credits, actually. You'd think you'd need Dr. Pulaski in this episode that involves people being disappeared and mutilated. And,
bonded to
the guy got through across
stuff.
the room there.
Yeah, the guy who clearly has no intact ribs.
Yeah.
You know, so many episodes could be boiled back down to listen to Guinan.
Yeah.
She knows what's going on.
Actually, Q called them the Borg first.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not gonna mince words here.
Well, maybe it's because they don't trust Q, but they trust Guinan. So when Guinan's like the Borg, they're like, okay, we'll call him the Borg.
Oh, if you need someone to get you in the least damaged part of the ship, you call O'Brien. O'Brien will get you over there.
So did they get O'Brien because of Scotty? Like, did they think they needed the cool?
I don't know. I mean,
Irish, Scottish, vague.
Colm Meaney was in Encounter at Farpoint, but his character was not referred to as Chief O'Brien yet. And I think, well, this guy's a really good actor. Let's find something for him to do. And the idea that on this big ship with multiple transporter rooms, that it makes sense that there would be somebody who is the chief of that staff or that department.
Yeah.
Who would be like the transporter expert. And from that, like, they developed a totally bad, like, this guy's like a war veteran who's basically in semi-retirement, and then he gets married and has kids, and then it transfers to DS9, and it's like, what a great job they did with O'Brien. Really good.
He has like career arc.
Creepy as. Got some mannequins here.
Yeah, this is either a Borg ship or the line at the DMV.
These are the employees of the DMV, William.
Resistance is futile. You will fill out the red F form.
You will report to line 12 immediately for testing.
You know what's funny though? Still, I would rather spend 2 full hours just waiting for service in the Arizona DMV instead of any amount of time I ever spent in the California DMV.
Arizona DMV, which we call the MVD.
The
MVD. There's chairs.
Yeah.
It's take a number and sit in a chair. It's not stand in line like you're waiting in the soup line.
Yeah.
Even in the suburbs, dude. Every California DMV. And like a juggernaut, as soon as you're the next person in line, that mofo is going to take a break. They just shut their window and without even acknowledging your presence.
Yeah. But what if what happens isn't what it wants or thinks?
Worf, stop trying to shoot everybody.
Data's like, ooh, Lady Borg. Sorry, I'm going to borrow your kidneys. If this really was true, that if there's something on their ship they don't see as affecting them at all, wouldn't there be, you'd think with all the stuff they've picked up, there would be like some creature just, roaming around on a Borg ship because no one's bugging it. Like a space squirrel or something flying through the rafters.
Yeah.
Almost as cool as Forbidden Planet. Almost.
20 miles. 20 miles.
Good luck finding the Sabaro. Who?
Now we're into some serious H.R. Geiger territory.
Yeah. Well, another thing with the Borg is, since they're a meld of organic and inorganic, they wouldn't necessarily need to eat or breathe the same. So, isn't there a chance like this whole thing would be filled with like nitrogen or chlorine gas or
right.
something?
I think in First Contact, where they see how like Earth is briefly assimilated, Data says the atmosphere is like 80% methane or something like that.
Yeah, it's like just
Which the Borg have bad gas, obviously.
I like how they made one mold for that panel and they just made it over and over and over again.
Turn it 45 degrees.
Ew, it's a baby. I hate these.
And now, since we know that's not true, we can probably assume that these are just infants they assimilated as infants, which is creepy as F. That's worse than anything Cronenberg ever thought of.
Yeah, the fact that like your entire life was circumvented so you can be part of a hive mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even 7 of 9 had some kind of childhood memories.
Well, she was assimilated when she was a kid, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like assimilated when she was like 7 or something.
Because her stupid effing parents. We're scientists. We're going to... No, you're not. Sorry. We got you.
Oh, sorry, we accidentally got a Borg.
What you should have done half an hour ago, Jean-Luc. Gulp.
Okay, so we found out they're using their combined power to repair the ship, but the Borg are made for NiCad batteries, so what we're going to do is we're going to put some lithium ion in there. It'll mess up all their internals. Magnify again.
Enhance.
Yeah, good old easy plastic melt effect. I have a button here for that. 8.5 again. See, you know what I think would be really effective in space battles? Because all it seems like all their shields are made to withstand like energy weapons, right? So just take one of those like space caskets like they shot Spock out in and just fill that with a whole bunch of replicated lead and just huck that thing out of the back torpedo tube. Also, I like the mahogany on the bridge.
What do you use on this, Pledge?
It's shiny, but it doesn't feel waxy. Like, this is very nice.
There's no film at all.
I love that. He always just kind of lays like.
But that's great. That's like the trickster pose, you know.
He is very Loki. Like if you thought of like the traditional tale of Loki, yeah. They're shooting ecto cooler at us, sir. Ugh, it's gonna be a day. So one thing I've never liked about Frakes' portrayal of Riker is whenever they have these action scenes where, you know, Riker is supposed to be like in the moment, and he's thinking tactically and he's supposed to have that poise, right? He just looks annoyed. Like he's just kind of mad that something's happening. Like the entire time he's just like
his day is just interrupted.
Yeah. He's like, can this just be done so I can grab Counselor Troy, head back to our quarters? Yeah, we're good. Yes. Wait. No. Wait. Yes. Do it.
Nuke the bastards.
Data's like, what? How
Actually,
did
this is quite comfortable.
Has anyone tried laying there? It's great.
Aha, reverse psychology. You weren't prepared for that, were you, Q?
I mean, you've done that. I feel very inadequate. I need you, baby. Baby, take me away from the Borg. Leaving one Borg on the entirety of that hive mind ship going, huh, that was weird.
Yeah, we should probably try to infiltrate that organization and find out exactly where their magic power comes from that we should assimilate it. Ah.
Oh man, can you imagine if they somehow managed to assimilate a Q? It'd just be over.
Yeah.
Actually, I think most people on this ship would have immediately been like, can you please get us out of here?
Well, I only had to say it in front of 6 or 7 people and not my whole 1,000-person crew, so fine.
You mean crawl under my vineyard? Oh, ew.
Ew. Ah.
I don't ever want to hear Q talk again about satiating gross desires.
Yeah.
It's not something I was hoping Q would ever say.
That's something I think the Ferengi are good at.
Yeah, like that's something Quark would say.
Yeah. In fact, that probably is a sign that hangs over the holosuite.
Yeah. Satiating your gross desires.
Gross desires satiated here.
Yeah. 3 bars, gold press platinum.
1 billion customers served. Well, we dodged that bullet. Phew, good thing we'll never see those Borg again.
Yeah, those were weird.
Oh, Guinan's still here. Cool.
He had to go to the waiting room and get her. She was still in there. No, that's not. It's physically not how the Borg work.
Even Janeway, tried. Kind of did, but not really.
Oh, Janeway ultimately backstabbed the Borg. Yeah. She was actually worse than anybody. Da 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 da. Oh, yeah. I thought that would be the outro there.
Remember when this episode started with a playful little scene of you getting hot chocolate spilled all over you?
Yeah. All to set up a trick for Q to do something cool with his powers.
Yep.
He said complacency because he didn't think butt sounded smart. She's smiling. She's like, I don't think he understood what he just did. He just moved a piece.
Moved a piece. That doesn't work that way, Jean-Luc. All right. Well, definitely not setting up any foreshadowing for things to come. Next episode's going to be a fun, lighthearted romp through space.
Riker's going to say a thing and go get a lady. It'll be great.
Yes. Well, for more Snark Trek, please do find us on Facebook at facebook.com/shiponfire. And the tweeter, promise we won't get into arguments with you on Twitter like everyone else, at shiponfire, ENT. The ENT means entertainment because we try to entertain you.
Indeed.